This is the augmented reality application that we created for i8. It's to showcase their new BMW i8. We're going to walk you through the application. First, this is the initial interface. You can go into the How It Works section. You can see the download details, so you know which marker to download. You can point, once you download it, you print it out and you point the camera at it, and then you can enjoy the experience. Other details about how to interact with it is that you can turn on the lights on and off, open up the car doors, change the colors of the car, of the available ones in the market, and do a 360 panoramic view to see it inside. There's also some details about the interface. You can share, you get additional information, and how to go back. Once you're ready, you just press the BMW logo and you can start the experience. From there, we can see the model of the car in higher resolution details. You can zoom into different areas of it with depth. We can interact with it in ways that we can show the details of the car. For instance, you can check out the light features. We can check out the door details. We can check out the engine details and the general car. You can also open up the doors and we can go in and out. And we can also resize and rotate it, so we can get into the car and see all the available features and details in it, including the handbrake, the steering wheel, the dashboard, how the seats are, all those. We can also change the colors to see all the available colors in the market. And from there, the last part is that we can do a 360 panoramic view. When we press it, we can actually get into the car and we can go around ourselves to see it in an actual virtual environment. We can look up or down. You can see every inch of the car. We can do it either through the gyro sensors or we can do a touch interactivity, so you can get more control over it.
The design of a hybrid car is probably all about practical necessity. Stretch for better aerodynamics, aesthetic aspects are probably the very last concern, aren't they?
Don't worry. For us, practicality and aesthetics are two sides of the same coin. A dazzling design is a must for a BMW. The design of the BMW i8 conveys a strong, iconic character. It's dynamic at first glance. The long wheelbase, short overhangs, the sweeping silhouettes, powerfully formed surfaces, and precise lines. You might even think the BMW i8 is surging forward, even though it's standing still. And here we have the double kidney grille, the BMW icon that makes this vehicle's origins unmistakably clear. The grille is flanked by the equally iconic LED headlamps. Moving on to the bonnet, we have another eye-catcher. This V-shaped black band starts here, runs along here, wraps itself across the entire car body to end over here at the rear, which looks pretty cool and dynamic. Viewed from the side, the BMW i8 has an ultra-flat silhouette, which seems to say loud and clear, dynamic sports car. From our position, we have a pretty good view of lines and surfaces interlocking and overlapping. BMW calls this layering, but the real stunner is these scissor doors. With no visible handle, they blend in perfectly well with the smooth lines of the car body. And when they're up, they won't even reach as high as 2 meters, so you'll have no trouble parking your car in any kind of public parking garage. The layering principle that we just saw resumes even in the BMW i8's interior. This creates a completely new relation between functionality and clear form. Sitting here behind the wheel makes the orientation of the cockpit towards the driver tangible. Even the center stick is aligned towards you, and that gives you that typical BMW sports car feel. What's new here are the sustainable materials. BMW has integrated a set of renewable and naturally treated raw materials. Also, it's a 2+2 seater.
The BMW i8 looks so powerful that you would think it's going to lift off any second now. But being a hybrid, performance is probably not the biggest concern here, or is it?
The BMW i8 is all about performance and about fuel efficiency. Just look at her beauty. Her lines and shape have dynamic and performance written all over her. And that's not despite the plug-in hybrid system, but because of it. Fitted on the front axle is the latest example of our new BMW eDrive technology. It's an electric motor that delivers 131 horsepower and 250 Newton-meters torque. On the rear axle operates the twin-power turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. It is the ultimate lightweight unit, delivering an output of 231 horsepower and 320 Newton-meters of torque. This makes for an impressive 154 horsepower engine output per litre, which is a value you find in motor racing. The electric motor and the petrol engine deliver a combined maximum of 362 horsepower, which is good for a top speed of 250 kilometers an hour. The latest results from BMW test tracks show that the sprint from 0 to 100 clocks at just 4.4 seconds. So overtaking on roads will give a new meaning to your concept of acceleration, because the electric motor delivers torque practically from the standstill. Rushing the throttle packs an immediate punch, even eliminating the slight dip of delivery due to the common turbocharger lag. But driving performance is not about power alone. In fact, the BMW i8 introduces an all-new architectural concept. A, the entire body is basically split up into 2 segments, which makes for a low center of gravity and an equal weight distribution between the front and the rear axle. B, the body is in large parts made of aluminium and carbon fiber, which makes it light and rigid, which is essential for great road behavior. And C, the obviously aerodynamic body adds to the sharp driving dynamics and performance.